Hi guys, welcome back to 37th video tutorial of J2EE. So in this tutorial we're going to discuss about JSP implicits, which is JSP implicit objects. So let me take a new page. So JSP implicit objects, like we see, there are few implicit objects we have used, like out.print. We are directly accessing that value, and if you want to get the if you want to get the data from the form, any form, suppose if you have a login form, then you can have the request object. We have to use it, as you seen in the login servlet. So here we're using a request.get parameter of something. So because we have the doPost method and we are getting the request object from the doPost method parameter, but in JSPs we don't have any methods. That's the reason they have introduced the implicit objects. So let's see one by one objects. So the first one, which is our out.print, means this out. One is out. So this particular implicit object is directly accessible in the JSP. So the type for that, so let me have a clear table. So what is an object and what is a type, means what is the root class for that. So I'm just having a object, take tabs, and type. Type means what is the type of that particular implicit object. So the first one will be the out. Out is a type of JSP writer. So JSP writer, within the JSP writer, the out class will be there. So we don't need to create this object and we don't need to get this particular out object. So this out object is directly accessible in the JSPs, like how we declared here. The next one will be, suppose if you want to get any data from the login form or something, so we need the request and response objects, right? So for that we have this request and response directly available in the JSPs. The name will be request. So these from HTTP servlet request, and the other one is response, which is from HTTP servlet response. We'll see the next one, which is the config. So config is the one which actually specific to that one particular servlet. So if you want to declare any data within the servlet related, so you can use the config application, config variable. So which is actually scope for the config will be within the servlet itself. So which is about servlet config, and this particular class we have seen in the servlet also. So we are aware of this one. So the next one will be application. So application is the scope which actually used for accessing the session related application. If you want to access the whole application, suppose if you declare one variable and if you want to access into the whole, all the JSP pages and all over the servlet pages, that's called as the application, which is about servlet context. So this is the context variable which is accessible to the whole application. So the next one will be page context. Page context is the one which is accessible within the page related, like within the JSP pages, these context will be accessible. Page context. And the next one will be the page itself. So page itself means within that particular JSP page alone, this object will be referred, and the type will be object only. and next one is session, which is from HTTP session, and the last one will be exception, which is from throwable. So these are all the different types of implicit variables you have. So how many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 implicit objects we have within the JSPs. These are directly accessible in your JSP to work with. So like how you access the out.print in your JSP page directly without declaring JSP writer and all. The same way you can able to access all other variables. For the request, you can have request. So if you want to get any the parameter, so get parameter. See, you can able to get the get parameter also. So these is how you can able to refer the implicit variables in your JSP files. So let's take one by one in the next tutorial, and we can demonstrate each one of them. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching.